No, not gender. This is a. I wasn't aware. Session we just concluded is about gender, and we also have another category of stakeholders in the agricultural agri-food system sector that we call the youth. And as a matter of fact, this continent is youth continent. Do you agree with me? Say yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Without much ado, I'd like to welcome for the introductory session our director to give us an opening remarks. That is in the person of Dr. Janet Edeme, who is the head of rural development, and acting head of agriculture and food security division of the African Union Commission. A round of applause for her. She's Mama Youth. She's so passionate about the youth in the continent. Isn't she useful? Say yes. Encourage her.
Thank you very much. Do I have any youth in the house? Yes, thank you so much. Wow. We have older youth and young at heart youth. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. At least we still have some staying power, although we have to start a bit late because of the clashing in the time. But it's all good. The room is still full, and I think we still have some energy left in here. So, the youth of Africa and beyond our continent, my colleagues from the African Union Commission, from ADFNS, from Agra, esteemed participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I join you to deliver these opening remarks at this side event on measuring progress, tracking youth agripreneurship and employment in Africa's agri-food systems. And it's jointly organized by the African Union Commission in collaboration with Agra in the margins of this 21st CAADP and the ADFNS. And greetings to all of you from His Excellency Mr. Moses Velakati, the African Union Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy, and Sustainable Environment. Like I had mentioned in one of the sessions in plenary, Commissioner had to urgently fly back to Addis Ababa because there were some pressing issues that needed his physical presence to resolve the issues. Colleagues, this side event is a significant milestone in our efforts towards strengthening evidence-based policy making and accountability in empowering youth across Africa's agri-food systems. The African Union has long recognized this potential, the potential this continental dynamic force can play in transforming our continent. And we placed youth at the heart of our Continental Development Agenda, Aspiration 6 of Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, envisions an Africa whose development is people-driven, harnessing the full potential of its people, especially its youth and women. And this is also reflected, colleagues, through our initiatives that we launched. Let me give you one example. We have the 1 million next level initiative launched in 2023, and the Commission aspires to create opportunities for at least 300 million young people in 5 priority areas, which are in education, employment, entrepreneurship, engagement, and well-being. The African Union heads of state and government have also long recognized agriculture as the foundation of our continent's economic transformation. And through the Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program and the Malabo Declaration, our leaders committed to creating opportunities for at least 30% of young people within strategic agricultural value chains by 2025, a commitment that is renewed under the CAADP Kampala Declaration, in which our member states committed to empowering 30% of youth in the agri-food system space by 2035. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, translating political commitments into measurable progress requires reliable data, robust monitoring systems, and strong institutional collaboration. Over the past decade, the CAADP Biennial Review has tracked youth employment in agriculture under commitment number 4, indicator 4.3, measuring the number of youths engaged in new jobs in the agricultural value chain. However, this indicator has major limitations, including data gaps, inconsistencies, and a very narrow focus on production and job quantity rather than quality. As a result, it fails to capture youth engagement across the full agri-food value chain, underscoring the need for a more comprehensive tool to measure and inform evidence-based policies. So it is in this context that the African Union Commission, in collaboration with ADFNS, our regional economic communities, and Agra, initiated the development of the Youth in Agri-Food Systems Performance Index, popularly known as YAPI, as a comprehensive, standardized, and actionable measurement framework that will provide deeper insights into youth participation across the entire agri-food value chain. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this side event is to provide a platform for knowledge sharing and dialogue on measuring youth agripreneurship and employment across Africa's agri-food systems. It aims to highlight the progresses that we are making on YAPI's development, the gaps and opportunities in tracking youth engagement, and also discuss practical approaches for strengthening data collection, monitoring, and reporting. The event has brought together policymakers, a number of our development partners, researchers, and youth representatives to support evidence-based decision-making, foster accountability, and accelerate youth empowerment and job creation across Africa's agri-food value chains. And as I conclude, I wish to take this opportunity to commend our partners, our NEPAD, Agra, the regional economic communities, and our member states for their unwavering collaboration and dedication. Your technical and financial contributions, coordination, and partnership have been instrumental in driving this process forward. And the Commission remains committed to leading and working closely with all of you to ensure YAPI becomes a successful and impactful initiative. So with this, thank you very much for your kind attention, and I yield the floor back to the moderator. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for the youngest youth from Ascend in Order. That's Dr. Janet Edeme. Thank you very much, Ma. We can feel your passion for the youth in the continent, and we hope that this youth will not disappoint the continent. Will you disappoint the continent? No. It is not in your DNA. What is DNA? I'm a teacher, I ask questions, but maybe it's not question number one, but just think about it. When you talk about DNA, you should know what it means as a youth, because you can always ask Google, right? Okay, my name is Olawale Olaide, right? I'm the moderator for this session. I forgot to mention my name earlier. Without much ado, let me tell you the rundown of this session. We have a keynote presentation. Thereafter, we'll try some exercises based on the presentation, and we'll move to the panel session, and thereafter we'll finish. I'll show you that we'll be on time. Without much ado, I want to invite the keynote speaker for this session. Is the son of the soil, who is so passionate about the youth. I invite Dr. John Ulimwengu of IFPRI, International Food Policy Research Institute, Washington, D.C., United States of America. A round of applause for him.
Thank you, Wale. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Well, I was asked to, can you please pull up my presentation? Thank you. Is this thing working? Oh, boy. Oh, yes, it's working now. All right, so let me go back. I pretend that you didn't see it. I will just give you a glimpse on the making of the YAPI being Youth in Agri-Food System Performance Index. So quickly, just first maybe a bit of the context. When you look at the data, 68% of working youth in sub-Saharan Africa are employed in agri-food system. And in some countries here, Nigeria, Kenya, and Uganda, between 34 and 50% of GDP, and with more than 50% of labor force are coming from agri-food system. While the demand for jobs, around 11 million youth entering the labor market every year, only 2.8 million jobs, decent jobs are created. And then when you look at the global picture, 20% of youth have no education, no employment, or even are not involved in any training. In Africa, it even translates into millions lacking engagement in economy. And of course, the issue of lack of access to digital tools. So the new definition of being illiterate is not having access to digital tools. On the financing, well, the data shows that less than 10% of youth in agribusiness have access to credit. In terms of inclusion, youth are still underrepresented in policymaking processes. So we are not only advocating for youth to be involved in production activities, producing, processing, distribution, and all that, but we also want youth to be involved in policymaking, because that's where you trigger change. But there is a potential with respect to green agri-food system that have the potential to generate 4 million youth jobs by 2030. In terms of regional development, we do have some good examples in countries here and there, like Ethiopia and Rwanda. And in terms of multiplier effect, engaging youth that are now, not in employment, education, or training in agri-food system could boost global GDP by 1.5 trillion, with 45% of that from Africa. So the potential is huge. We just need to make it right. In terms of what is the mandate to, develop the YAPI, it's coming from the Agri-Business Youth Strategy, AYS, which focus on 3 key pillars: reinforced system of implementation, which include building institutional capacity, leadership, improving data system and policy framework, transform market by creating access to digital tools, as I mentioned, regional and formalized market, and of course, encouraging youth competitiveness, and strengthen value chains, enhancing youth role in value chain, increasing productivity, and promoting sustainability. With 3 cross-cutting issues include everyone. So no one to be left behind, innovate to excel, and preserve Earth, which translates to sustainability. Now, my Director Janet mentioned what is wrong with the current youth indicators, so to speak, which is part of the CAADP Malabo BR system. It is the indicator, I mean, we call them PC 4.3, PC standing for performance category. As Madam Janet said, it measures percentage of youth in jobs in agriculture value chain. So that's what we are measuring now. And as she rightly mentioned, it is very narrow, has a narrow focus on employment quantity, not even in quality. So we are only counting the number of those who are employed. We don't know, I mean, not really much in terms of what the quality of that, data inconsistencies, and of course, narrow view of engagement in agri-business. So how is it, how is the YAPI computed? That's how it is computed. It is a weighted average normalized index. The V that you have there, it's normalized score assigned to the domain. I'll come back to the domain. It is weighted. Why? Because each domain has different weight when it comes to youth involvement or youth performance in agri-business. So what are the domains that YAPI captures? Here there are 5 of them. The first one is education, skills, and technology. The second, productive resources and services. The third, on economic opportunities. The fourth, policy engagement and governance. And then the last one, sustainability and resilience. So what we are trying to do here is to capture youth involvement beyond the farm. So it's no longer just youth, farming, but what else youth can do across all food system. Where are we with that process? So we started with the stakeholders consultation on development of YAPI to track AYS, as I said. As we stand, you just roll down to, we are on continental data cleaning and validation involving 5 regional economic communities from 11 countries. So what happened is, since we started the process, we developed the methodology, we collected data, we involved 19 countries, but only 11 countries responded to the call, and then we are now in the process of cleaning the data, and hopefully by the end of the year, you will receive a report on that. So what will happen going, okay, it's not going to let me down now. It has been so faithful. Oh, there you go. So what are the next steps between November and December 2025? So we need to wait on weighting of these indicators. As I said, the 5 domains had to be weighted. We start weighting at the national level and then aggregate at continental level. There will be a write shop, so we'll do data analysis and report writing, the draft report, and then the final activities as far as this year is concerned, virtual presentation and validation of the report. So if you are interested, reach out to the man himself, Professor Wale. I'll stop here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. John, for the wonderful presentation, an overview, something that has taken us more than a year. I mean, for him to present in 5 minutes, you can imagine the task that we give to him. But again, he did it very well. Another round of applause for him, please. Right now, I'll be calling on the panelists to come to the front, but before I do that, one of the things that was presented is that we need to weigh the indicators to know the proportional contribution of each one of them to the whole process of YAPI. And we need you, we need this, everybody here, to help us to contribute to it. So that you can say, when YAPI is released, you say, yes, when I was in here for the CAADP in Kigali, October 2025, I did contribute to it. I remember I something and all that. And because youths, we are very, in one of the other meetings we did, I said the reason why we develop QR code, can somebody tell me the reason why we develop codes? Especially QR code that you can scan and access. Do you know the reason? Do you know the reason? It is because of all of you here. Because you like fast things, you like to quickly get things done, right? Faster. So I would like the technical team to present the QR code on the screen. You help me to scan it now. So this is the exercise I want to give to everybody. Can you do that now, please? Please, I'm begging you. In the African way. Should I do the African way? Yes, I see you are very, very, very cooperating. It's collaboration, right? So do that. If you have done it, I will go around. If you are not doing it, I know some people are not doing it yet. Do you need help? Do you need help? If you need help, raise your hand, please. Okay, so that means you can all do it, right? Did you see something there? If you have not seen anything, just raise your hand. Okay, maybe internet is trying to slow you down, right? Yes. But just like John said, it cannot fail us. It has been faithful. Internet and everything has been faithful. Okay, there's also a link there at the bottom, but with the code, you can easily access it. Has everybody done that? Please? Okay, while you are doing that, you will run through it. Are we able to show the first one so that everybody can just see what is there? Okay, are you able to open the code from the control room so that we can also see what they have scanned? Isaac, please help Dr. Janet, please. You see, she's one of us. She's now sitting in the middle. I love this. Thank you so much for the encouragement, ma'am. So when you open it, you will see the data. We want you to help us to rank within the indicators. In some domains, there are 3 indicators. So when you have 3, you will rank which one is my best. You allot 3 to the one you think is has the best importance in the group. Are you with me? Are you with me? When you get to the first domain on education, skills, and technology, what do you see? Can somebody tell me what you are seeing there? What are you seeing there? Now, maybe we should leave the QR code. Oh, everybody has scanned, right? Okay, now let's open that link, please. Control room, can you help me to open the link? Then I'll use one to demonstrate. Then I call the panelists to come to the front. While you have, but make sure you don't leave. If you have to leave now, fill the form and submit before you leave, please. Thank you. Are you able to open it, please? All right, please open it. So while we're trying to open, I'd like to call on the panelists. I call first on Mr. David Adama. Are you in the room? Please, can you come to the front? A round of applause for him. And then I call on Haile of AUC. Haile Abebe, please. Quickly, please encourage you are using your phone at the same time, and I also want you to clap. You see my problem now? Okay, I also want to call on Mr. Duncan Semikwa of SADC. Please keep encouraging them. Then I call on Mr. Emmanuel Onos from Nigeria. And last but not the least is Ms. Balikis Salaudin Ibrahim. A round of applause. Please take your seats in front here. While they are doing that, I'm waiting for those who are showing the link to just show the first one I explain, then you continue with the process of completing the form and submitting while we will have the panel session. Sir, I want you to come here. I want to put the lady in the middle somewhere. No, you stay there. Huh? Sir, you please come here. Right. David, I'm still missing you here. Okay, thank you very much. I thought, David, Isaac, can you help them? I just want to quickly dismiss that. Yes, Isaac is coming to assist, please. Okay, all right, thank you very much. So, can you all see something like this? Okay, so can you go to next one? There's an instruction there. Please just read it quickly. Then we'll go to the next one. By clicking next. Are you able to click next to go to this place? Can you see this? Okay, maybe we should do this quickly. I'll be coming at intervals to check with you. Do you know what to do here? This is first your background information. Who is filling this form? Some ideas, not necessarily the details, because we'll not use your information, but we just want to have some demography of those who have completed the form. Can you please fill that, please? Are you able to fill that? Yes, while you are filling it, I'll move to the next one. Just keep it there that I'll move to this other session. We want to manage the time effectively. I'll start with Mr. David Adama of Agra. No, maybe I will not start with you. I'll start with Aile. African Union Commission. You are on top of this process in the continent. Your question now. You are on top of this process of developing the Youth in Agrifood System Performance Index. Can you tell us where this process fits in the whole essence of moving from development to action on the ground? And what do you envisage going forward? Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. I thought I would be the last one to speak, but it's okay.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Okay. It is really pleasing over the past few years to see that there is an increasing recognition as a continent. We cannot achieve our development aspirations without meaningfully engaging young people, the 60% of our population, in any aspirations that we set out for ourselves as a continent. As the African Union, we, as Dr. Edeme mentioned, we place youth at the center of our development agenda. The aspiration, the Agenda 2063, we aspire to achieve a continental development which is driven by the young people themselves. And when it comes to our space, the agri-food systems space from Maputo to Malabo, now in Kampala, we aspire to create at least 30% of opportunities. If we create 100 opportunities, at least 30 opportunities should come from the agri-food systems space, recognizing there is a huge untapped potential in the agri-food systems space to create opportunities for young people. So how do we translate this into opportunity, into a practical action? How are we planning to do that? In fact, over the last 10 years, that's one of the areas that we did not really perform well. We only have 11 countries under the 4th BR on track to achieve the 30% commitment. That means we really need to do better. As the African Union, let me highlight a few areas quickly that we are planning to do going forward under Kampala. So the first plan is to have to make sure this 30% commitment that we made at the continental level is translated to the national level also, through the national investment plans and everything. Second, we have done an assessment last year to see if member states have the national agri-food systems policy frameworks that are specifically developed for young people. And the results that we have found is really concerning. Only a handful of countries have use-focused business or agri-food systems plans. So we need to support member states to develop that strategy to reach there. Two, we need to create and launch programs in collaboration with ADFNS. We need to develop and launch programs, initiatives and interventions that facilitate access to finance, access to product sources, and other necessary requirements for young people to succeed. We will be working towards that. Third, we need to keep giving young people voice. Nothing for use without use. We have to make sure that young people are engaged at the continental level, at the national level, and so on and so forth, at the regional level. So we'll keep working on strengthening the use weight, the kayaks that we developed and launched during the last CAADP, so that youth will have a meaningful engagement across the continent. And lastly, just for sake of time, we have to measure our progress. How are we progressing? How are we going to the commitments that we are making? And that's when the YAP framework comes in. We have had challenges with the previous assessment, as Prof. John highlighted. We have been counting the number of jobs, the quantity jobs. We are not counting what kind of job we are creating as a decent job, and we are not counting the factors that are leading to the creation of those jobs. So through YAP, we should be able to measure comprehensively how our member states are doing in terms of creating those opportunities, and how we can give them a better policy advice for them to achieve the commitments. And it will be done within the overall framework of the CAADP Kampala Declaration, Prof. Let me stop there.
Yeah, thank you very much. For a round of applause for Haile, please. He has given us the background to the process, and he has also given us ways of looking forward from Malabo to Kampala. I still want us to keep the information ongoing. You have completed the first session. So the next is the second session. So you click next, right? When you get to the next one, which is, there are 5 domains as it's been presented. This domain on education, skills, and technology has 3 indicators. And we want you to rank the 3 of them. 3 is the highest, followed by 2, and by 1. In the next one, when you have more than 3, we will also give you the numbers to rank. Can you please now, if we are all here, rank, number 1 may be your number 3. The first one there may be your number 3, maybe your number 2, be not number 1, but you cannot enter more than 3, and you cannot enter 0. We have constrained the cell to not to take anything more than what is there and anything less than what is there. Is that okay? Thank you very much. As we are doing that, I invite the next panelist, who is representing Agra, David Adama. You are aware that AUDA, NEPAD, and African Union Commission, as well as Agra, including other partners, are conceptualizing CAADP Youth Agripreneurship Hub as vehicle for institutionalizing and scaling up youth agripreneurship in the continent, in the Kampala era. So what should be the hub key priorities? And what are the key principles that should be adopted to ensure that the hub truly catalyze youth agripreneurship that we want to see in the continent? David, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Wale. I think from what Haile has already talked about, also what John has looked at, what will the hub do? There are already existing programs, activities that are already being undertaken by different partners. Agra has several programs that are running and supporting young people around the go-getters. We're talking about the value for her. We're talking about the wire and all of that. But how does that link into the conversation that we're talking about? We need, as we talk about what young people require, or whether setting a hub and how we can run agripreneurship hub, what is that evidence? What is it that guides us towards that? And I think that's a conversation we're having here. We've identified those domains. Different partners are doing different things. Different governments are implementing different youth programs. What does YAPI do for us is to enable us get that relevant data around the different areas of what young people expect, what young people want to see happen, what young people feel is beneficial to them, and be able to then design programs, design policies that then help run this program. So the Youth Agripreneurship Hub, AUDA, Agra, and the other partners are looking at is something that will build from what is currently existing and how and what are young people saying are the priorities. So as we go through this process, as we go through the YAPI documentation, it should give us that evidence that will then help us to make the decision in terms of what are the critical areas of focus that the Youth Agri Entrepreneurship Hub should be focused on, and what is it that government will do, private sector, development partners, and the rest of the likes. But we need to learn from evidence of what is currently happening, and not to just start something that is outside of data and what we're seeing or learning from the ground. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, David, for providing that lucid explanation into what this process is going to achieve for us. It will provide the evidence as we have the indicators. The indicators give direction on what is missing and what we need to prioritize. Thank you again for those insights. I will move. Now you can just put something there, assuming the person working on this, feed that process so that we can move to the next phase. If you don't feed that information, you will not be able to go. Can you see the constraint? So you need to put either 2, 1, 2, just distribute the number 3, 2, 1 somewhere. Can you do that so that we can move? I will be calling on SADC, so shortly after we move. Yes, you cannot put zeros. You see, when you put 0, it's still highlighted, and it has to say you have to put between 1 and 3 in each of the cells. Can we go to the second one, please? You can't put 1, 1 because you have to distribute. Yes, thank you. We are using this to learn too. I think you are following, right? Say yes. Thank you. So it means the last one has to be 3. Thank you. So you can now say next, please. So you will see in the next one, maybe some of us have passed this stage, but if you are there, I will indulge us to please, let's follow the step-wise as we are going. You see in this one, it has how many indicators? Can somebody tell me? How many indicators? That means you distribute from 7 to 1, or 1 to 7, or you distribute the numbers 1 to 7 across the 7 areas. Is that okay, please? So you can start now. So I go to the regional sector now. No, we have in the hierarchy of things in the continent, we have the continental, the regional, and the member state. So this question is to Mr. Duncan, please. In the context of that SADC, please, which is the region for the Southern Africa, how is the community, the region now, supporting youth agripreneurship across member states within your region? And what role can regional coordination play in tracking and scaling up youth employment and opportunity in the agri-food systems? Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Prof. And thank you for inviting us and me, the youth from SADC. But I'm not as young as my friend Haile, who is speaking off the cuff, so I'll use my notes to answer your question. The youth in SADC, pivotal for agri-systems transformation, just like in other parts of the region. And SADC has come up with a number of initiatives to support the youth in the region. We've got specific, I'm going to talk to 4 issues. One was strengthening policy and institutional frameworks. At the moment, SADC has come up with a youth protocol, which will be the binding and legal document for transformation of youth, not just in agribusiness or agri-entrepreneurship, but across the whole spectrum. Secondly, we've just drafted a framework for youth in agriculture interventions. This is still being debated. We are thinking this is going to guide how we, our member states, engage with the youth. I think the issue is we don't want to keep talking about the youth and then soon after the meetings we forget about them. We want to have accountability. They should be able to say we agreed to do this. Where are we? Or why are you leaving us behind? Secondly, we are building capacity and skills. So we've got a number of capacity strengthening plan drafted to equip or to skill the youth in agribusiness. We think this is important. Alongside with that, we're also looking for resources because one of the major challenges we always get when we meet with the youth is that you can capacitate us all you want, but if you don't have the resources, we don't have the land, you don't have the capital to start our businesses, it just remains a talk show. And lastly, we are expanding platforms for participation of the youth. Thanks to my good friend David from Agra. Agra has given SADC a grant which is supporting the youth in SADC. So about a month ago, if not 3 weeks ago, we had one very successful youth in agribusiness symposium where we had youth from all our SADC member states coming and showcasing what they can do. It's amazing what the youth out there can do. It's a pity my friend here, my news reporter here didn't come. He didn't want to come and show what we are doing. Byron will not invite you again. Yeah, so Chair, I think that's what we are doing at SADC. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for telling us the policies and the instruments that are on ground to support the youth and create employment for the youth. Let me also, based on what we are feeling, let me say that until you completed the ranking, as it were, you will not see next because there are 6 sections. So don't click submit until you have seen submit at the end. But you may see submit in between, but it shows that you have not completed the set or fully filled the set, as it were. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. You can click next, so that we'll take, I will explain the next one, then we'll move to the next panelist. Thank you. The next section is on what we call domain 3, because this first section was just the background information. The actual domain started from section 2. This section in our 5 domains is in domain 3, but it's section 4. This is talking about economic opportunities for the youth. So now you are here. Can you tell us what is most important to you? You want to rank it. If you want to create economic opportunities, there are 7 indicators there. Which one is the most important? The one that is most important will be 7, right? The next one will be what? And the one after 6 will be what? Oh, you are very smart. So please fill those things. The first one may be 1, maybe 2, but don't follow what the demonstrator is doing. It's just giving us a sample. So we want you to tell us in your own situation, in your own country, tell us which one is most important. Thank you very much. And now talking about the countries, I would like to invite somebody from who is here, but represent the countries in the continent. And that is Mr. Emmanuel from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in Nigeria, is the CAADP focal point for Nigeria. Mr. Emmanuel, sir. Nigeria is one of the pilot countries. We have 19 countries which we set out to pilot on this development. And now, from your experience, could you share the key results and lessons you have learned from the pilot processes, as well as challenges that you face and how you were able to overcome those challenges? Or maybe you are still facing that you think that you can provide solution to, and others can learn, because in the after the pilot, we go full scale. So maybe they can learn from the experience and try to avoid the pitfalls that you had. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity. And I want to share the Nigeria experience. When the process started, we had to do what we call the stakeholders mapping along the indicators to identify clearly which agency, which ministry, whether state or non-state actors that are responsible for each indicator. So we were able to bring everybody on board, say provide the data that is required to capture what is needed. And what we discover along the line is that there are a whole lot of disaggregated data from different government institutions, private sectors, and even the development partners. We're able to rig around it, bring everybody to one place, and get them to populate the data set. So basically, it was very, very interesting. But one unique thing we discovered about the entire process was that there are really no deliberate effort to see to it that we have youth data, youth indicator captured in all our interventions. In fact, when we interface with most of the ministries and the agencies, everybody is just doing intervention without clearly disaggregating the age. And a very good example is actually what has happened here, even in this meeting. When the African Union sent the registration to us, I was actually trying to look at for where I would see age disaggregation. Maybe that could have also helped us to know the number of youths that are involved in this kind of meeting and know the level of commitment to youthfulness. But I didn't see that happening. So I think the youth indicator, it's very critical and is a very challenging thing, and everybody needs to sit together and make it deliberate in achieving the required success. And basically, once this is done, it's even easy to roll out interventions, come up with programs. So clearly, you would have seen from the data set the level of involvement of youth and where they will need relevant support. So government can now start initiating policies, programs, projects that are targeted towards improving the livelihoods of youth. Maybe I should stop here for now.
Yeah, thank you very much. A round of applause for Mr. Honors, please. Okay. I can get at least one thing from what he said, that I can summarize it in the context of this session, that it is what is measured that is get done. If you don't measure it, you cannot say you have done it. For instance, you plan to come to this side event, right? You say, I will come. Now you are here. You have done it, right? Then you take it that you have done. But if you don't plan to be here, or if you are not here, you cannot say you are here, right? So it is what is measured that you get done. And it's what is done that you can track over time. Okay, we did it yesterday. We did it 2 weeks ago. We need to do it, repeat it another time. Thank you again for sharing your experience with us and helping us to learn on how to improve on the process. Now I look back to my dashboard. Now, I hope you have all completed this. Economic opportunities. That is where the job creation comes and all the issues around creating jobs and what are the instruments that are existing in the country to make youth to be engaged. Can we go to next, please? The next will be domain 4, which is here section 5, talking about policy engagement and governance. Here, youth always complain, we are not involved. Nothing for the youth without the youth. We have captured, we have heard your voice. We have helped you to put in a way that you can communicate to policymakers. Now, tell us, as a way of ranking perhaps, If we want to do 1 out of how many? 5, right? Or 4? 5. Which one would be the most important one? That it would be 5. Which one should be next? Which one should be next? And which one should be more or less last? But it must be done. That's why it's not 0. It must be done, but in terms of prioritization, one will come before the other, assuming we are limited by time, by resources, and we just want to do one thing. That one thing that we need to do in Nigeria, maybe the number 3 to do in Ethiopia, or number 5 to do in Eswatini. So in the context of your country, as we are here, which one should be the most important, and in descending order? All vote now. Thank you. Now I go to somebody that is here that represents the youth, but not just a youth, but represent a part of gender, but not just because of the gender. That's why we have here, even though I don't know why how it worked that way. You see now, if we don't measure it, we will not do it. If we don't bring her, we will not know that there are also people like her in the continent. So she represents young farmers. And whenever we came together from the airport, and she introduced herself to the immigration officer that I'm a farmer. Are you a farmer? We will not know there's a farmer. But youth farmers are different from the old type of farmers that we know, right? Do you agree? Say yes. Thank you. Even say yes. I already said it on your behalf. As a young farmer, right? An agripreneur. No, farmers, youth people don't call themselves farmers. They call themselves agripreneurs. And that's where we want to be. They are creating business opportunity for others. Youth are not just selfish. They are not just about themselves, but creating opportunity for others. So as youth agripreneur, do you think the main focus areas of YAPI reflect the real needs of people? We know you are already familiar with the domains. Is there something that is really missing? Or these are the areas that we really need to focus on to want to engage the youth, to create employment, and to make sure that the continent is transformed through young agripreneurship. Yeah, thank you.
You so much, sir. And I think it's important that I change the narrative that young people are not trying. We're not saying, put us here, put us there. We're just tired of policies that exist without implementation for young people, right? You sit down today at this meeting, they say we're drafting this communique, we're drafting this policy, and then next year again we gather, we're doing the same thing without proper tracking, proper implementation. So, sir, we are not hustling. We're not hustlers, right? We're just trying to ensure that things are done the right way. So, I mean, I'm familiar with YAPI, and I think it's important that I also mention some of the things that myself and other young people during the YAPI engagement in Lagos, some of the input that we gave this to ensure that it captures young people in the agri sector effectively. I think we had some back and forth around SMEs, right? The definition of SMEs. So for example, in Nigeria, when you mention SMEs, you don't always see agripreneurs, but you see fintech, right? You see the people in the tech sector. So we had to properly break it down to ensure that when we say SME in the YAPI term, it also covers for the young people in the agricultural sector. I think another more important thing is this particular data has identified market, it has identified finance, it has identified skills, but I think we need to also look at the digital literacy that young people have and how they are leveraging that to improve on their agri-food system work, be it you're a farmer, be it you're a processor, be it you're a trader, be it you're in the cold chain value system. What is that digital literacy that you have? And I think another important thing from the dialogue that we just had, we need to also look at the mentorship that exists between the older generation and the younger generation in the agri-food system. Because most of the times, we can't do the world alone, right? And we want to leverage on the lessons of our predecessors to be able to do the right thing. So I think those are like the 2 points, but maybe because I've been part of the process, I've provided insights. I think it's actually a data that is needed, that I think that it should actually be stepped down to everyone. So I'm encouraging everyone, if you are still doubting it, please fill the form and share it as you're filling it so that we can have as much input from young people. Again, you don't want him to keep saying that we are hustling. Let us do the work that they're asking us to do so that they can have this data and be able to make the right decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Qualities. Well, now we are going to the next session. Just click next. But you agree with me that everything she said is already in the document you are filling, right? She talked about use of digital literacy. We talk about use of digital platform. We talk about SMEs and all that, startups. You have them reflected in the economic opportunities. So we have heard your voice, and we have incorporated your concerns. Now, look forward to the results that you can now use to engage your government and other development partners to support you, because this study is being done independently outside you, but I'll capture your concerns and you can scale it up in the country. The last session is on sustainability and resilience. I assure you that after this session, there will be no next. The next thing will be to submit. Do you trust me still? Do you believe me? Okay, believe me, I tell you. So please go ahead and fill this last session, but you can agree with me that I've asked my panelists, I'm supposed to go 2 rounds of questions, but I can't do that now because there's another session that is waiting. But I just want to hear your voice. You have come here not just to look at us or to fill the form, right? You want feedback from you. Is anyone want to say one thing? I can take one person. But if I have a gender issue, then I will take 2. But if just only one gender, then I'll take only one person. Mark, can you come forward? Yes, you are the only one that I will consider. Thank you. Can you encourage her, please? By clapping, please. Tell us your name, your country, and what you do, then your question. Quickly.
Okay, my name is Glory Joseph Anthony. I'm from Nigeria. I'm into agribusiness. My question is, many youths are doing small agribusiness in the villages, but they are not counted. We need to include their effort when tracking process, because you see there are so many young people there. I'm working with them day by day, and they still complain that when things are being done, that they are not being captured. So their efforts are being looked down on. My second question is, when we talked about measuring progress, we should also ask, are youth really getting the help they need to succeed? Are they really getting the help, especially those in the villages? They are not getting it. So please, we should look into that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will call on Ima to answer. Oh my goodness. Should I take her? Okay, it's you. I'm not the one now. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. My name is Sally Kimathi. I'm an economist at IFPRI, but also a young agripreneur from Kenya. I appreciate the work that has gone into the development of EAPI, also having contributed in some of the stages. My question is on the dissemination of EAPI report, because the evidence that this report is going to generate is going to be very useful. So, and I'm looking at AUC, Dr. Janet and Haile, and I was wondering if it would be possible to have, once the report is ready, to have AUC convening like a critical analysis of the YAPI report, like the way we do for the BR, CAADP BR, whereby we have key stakeholders who are involved in designing and programming for youth in agri-food systems, and also having these youth in that critical analysis, yeah, the way we do it for BR. So is it possible so that this evidence is very useful? It will also bridge the data gaps and challenges the YAPI indicators phase and also enhance understanding and appreciation of YAPI and promote effective utilization of evidence generated. So AUC.
Thank you very much. You can ask one question, 7 questions in one by saying and. Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it anyway. Right, I want, in responding to these questions, make it your closing remarks, right? So just wrap the two together. Just say this one and conjunction, and you finish. I'll start in this order, pick the specific one, and respond and close.
All right, in terms of the first question, let me respond to that. It's very critical because I remembered when we started the YAPI process, that was one of the conversations I had with the team because let me give you a very good example. One of the indicators, you're looking at the number of youths that are in agribusiness, and it was restricted to youths that are registered. And my question then was, what about those in the non-formal sector, the ones that are not registered? They are even more in numbers than the ones that are registered. For the YAPI indicator, it's work in progress. It's a new innovation, and I'm sure we'll be having conversation with the African Union to see how we can gradually refine it to meet the need of everyone. But in country, the government is even currently working with NIMSI, that's the National Identity Management Scheme, to capture farmers directly and register them so that when interventions are coming, it goes directly to them. So that way we've cut out the bureaucratic bottleneck, and the issue of political farmers will not also arise. And of course, we know how credible NIMSI is. So lastly, I want to say that this is a new innovation and it's work in progress. We'll continue to fine-tune it until we get the best out of it. And don't also forget the essence of this to see how the YAPI process can be infused into the Banwa review. So once the Banwa review is being analyzed and policy makers are looking into the outcome of the report for decision making, YAPI definitely will be captured. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
Thank you, Prof. Let me start with Sally's question. Yes, the report will be available, and it will go through also the critical analysis process and very soon, because it is the data that we are collecting from the member states, which is validated at the member states level. So it's the member states data, it's not our data, and the report will also be the member states report, which will be publicly available. And it's a pilot assessment, so that we'll be able to see what we will improve going forward. So it will be available before the end of the year. As a concluding remark, maybe Prof, if you allow me, yes, within our institutions, within our mandate, we'll play our own role as the AUC, our DANEPAD, our development partners, REX, within our mandate. But the lifting come from the young people themselves. Said you are the key stakeholders in this process. You are beneficiaries. So we expect the young people to play. There are 3 mics, Prof. So we expect young people to play a critical, a leading role in the process. We had 5 regional dialogues, Prof, just on the African agribusiness use strategy. And most of the young people that we invited, they do not know what CAADP is. We have our responsibility to our fellow young people to support each other, capacitate each other, so that we'll be able to achieve something that's incredible. It's not the intention that matters, it is the implementation. In the implementation process, young people should play a critical role in that process. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much. My sister from Nigeria, I feel your question, and it was part of the concerns that we raised when we were at the phase of developing this whole change. Like, this is like a game changing for us as young people, right? Looking at an holistic approach across the continent. So I think most of the times we also need to look at what is the role of young people to bridge the gap, right? Mr. David, Mr. Emmanuel, everybody cannot be in the grassroots. So for me, for example, where my farm is located, I have other farmers around me. And when intervention comes that I'm close to, I'm able to bring them on board for that intervention. So as young people, how can we serve as a bridging gap between opportunity and those in the rural communities, right? So that's like my response in that regard. So if you have access to the rural people and you think that there's an opportunity, how can you come in to bridge that gap and support the entire process, right? And then I think on Sally's response, the reason why I'm seated there, I'm literally like the youngest, yeah, the youngest person. No, you're not younger. No, Mr. David, no. I'm literally the youngest person on this sitting, right? And the reason is because young people are part of the process of YAPI. YAPI is not done by just the professors, the doctors, the older people. We are in the process, and it is our right to follow this to the end, right? I don't care if by the end of the day, I'm already 30, I'm 40, but I would live to see that this was done rightly and domesticated to all of the countries on the continent. And we must ensure that we follow the implementation strategy that YAPI serves to achieve. So thank you so much.
The youth, we are saying the youth in Africa, the biggest demographic group, please use your power. Use your power to bring about the change that you want, to bring about the Africa that you want. Don't leave it to grown-ups or adults to change things for you. They're not going to do it. So in many countries, voting starts at 18 or 16. Please go and vote for youth, so that in the legislature, in those parliaments and the government ministries, it is the youth who are making the decision. Thank you.
And that's the way you say we should go. And yeah, I think for me, this is quite interesting. We've heard some good stories, and it looks like every time we sit, I hear a new story from Nigeria. John, last week we're talking about how they now have representative agents in all the ministries in terms of to capture disaggregated data. Today I'm hearing that it is now in a system to ensure that when you register, you get a SIM card, or you get your registration as a Nigerian. These are things. And where is this coming from? The learning from the implementation of YAPI. And that's what we're looking forward to. How does this inform policy change? How does it inform system change? John presented and said, moving away from the narrow job counting. We don't want to count jobs for young people. Young people don't want to be employed. Young people want to employ other people. Am I correct? Yes. So the whole idea of YAPI is to ensure that there is system change in planning, in policy, in government, public finance, budgetary allocation, and how the whole of government runs. So I think this is novel, thanks to the African Union that really saw this and were able to run with the experts that have worked on this tool. And Hailey may have forgotten to say, with permission and also Dr. Janet here, last week AUC reported on YAPI and how it will be utilized in tracking the AAYS implementation and the commitment number 4 in the Kampala dispensation. So I think this is something we're happy to be, we're proud as Agra to have been part of. Our partners are also proud that we will see some systemic change in how data is being used to inform youth policy in our countries. So thank you, and I am still a youth. Thank you.
Thank you for handing over the microphone to another youth, right? All youth in the house, please put your hands together for a wonderful section, revibrating, catalytic, stimulating session that we had. Now, the evidence that you were here is what? We want our policies to be evidence-based, right? What evidence can you provide that you are here? Tell me. Photo, right? Oh, you are very smart. Another round of applause for yourself. Now, let's come out here. Dr. Janet, you come to the center. We'll spread like this. Yes. Yes, you can move. Oh, you. Yes. Come here. Come here. Yes. Dr. Janet will sit here. You sit there. They will sit here. Then the rest of us, can you join them? Please be happy to join us. Please come. We appreciate you. We'll put this, we'll escalate this and say, these are the youths of the continent who are making YAPI to happen. In the next 10 years, the story will be told that in this room, probably you must have forgotten that this room is AD 10. You know why it's called AD? We are in year AD. AD means after something, 2025 AD, and you are in AD 10. You count yourself fortunate, right? Yes, I'm just buying it time. By the way, did you submit the form? Did you submit? Oh, you are smart. You don't want to join us? Oh, you don't want to join us? If you don't want to join us, we won't waste your time. But if you join us, we'll finish on time, right? Okay. Who is taking the photo? Isaac, are you there? We need this photo. It's entering to... Maybe raise it up. If they can, let's just take the photo. Let's just take it. Say YAPI. One, two, go. YAPI. Again. YAPI. Thank you very much. You did a wonderful session. And on behalf of the YAPI team, I want to thank all of you that participated, especially in filling the form. We'll send the report to you because we have your details and we'll keep engaging. Thank you very much. My name is Olawale Olaide. If you forget everybody's name, just remember Wale. Thank you. Another session is taken up immediately. I hand over for that session.
Thank you very much. Our session is not going to be very long as this one. So, I think this